deemed a lawful means of protest. That's not something that the police have decided. That's been decided by certain judges when we've had legal challenges. This is a public procession at the point where the senior officer president believes that this is now causing serious disruption to the community. He can impose conditions. One of those conditions could be you must now move onto the pavement. If they don't, then they breach those conditions. They know or ought to know that that condition is in place, which they'll be told. Then they are liable to arrest. But at the moment, the senior officer president doesn't believe that this is causing serious disruption, so therefore no conditions are imposed and they are free to walk there, regardless if it's that protest group, your protest group, and that's just the law. It's frustrating for all, but we have to work. We have. Well, no, we have. You can read it up. It's all on the internet in terms of legislation and stuff. But
legislation is legislation.
The thing is, though, if the senior officer puts in a condition that he believes that this is now causing serious disruption to the community, and actually he can't evidence that, then that decision will be challenged in court, and he then will have to explain potentially his actions not being proportionate. So there are barriers to what we do, of course, and we have to justify everything we do.
Yeah, but you didn't at the King's coronation though, when you arrested all them protesters.
I'd just like to add, I was in Hyde Park.
Yeah, but that was disgusting, and you know yourself as an officer, the events of that day, people getting arrested without charging.
I was in Hyde Park.
But this is where legislation goes too far. This is where people abuse the legislation just to suit themselves, because then people should never be arrested.
I believe during the coronation there was a belief that some were trying to disrupt it, and I think if you're being honest, there was a belief that
they were holding up banners and they were shouting, and you have the right to do that.
You have a right to peaceful protest. I'm not going to disclose that, but there was a belief that some people on that day were looking to disrupt the coronation. We, the police, and I wasn't on that particular sector. I was in Hyde Park. Just for you really owe me, I was in Hyde Park. Yeah. The belief was that in certain areas there were people that were looking to disrupt the coronation. So what do? Do we just let it happen and face embarrassment, criticism, or do we take some sort of preventive measure to disrupt what was one of the most high-profile events this country will ever see? You tell me that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can use that same legislation or belief in any single situation.
No, we take things on their individuality and not as a general. This is 20 people on a random Saturday walking through London. You're talking about the King's coronation. Now, I'm not going to go into
but you're saying you don't want the embarrassment about the King's coronation.
Well,
I'm just going to say the King's coronation was an embarrassment from start to finish.
Well, again, that's your opinion. But what we're saying is, in terms of that event, we would have faced significant criticism if we were given certain information and didn't act on it. But I'd like to just add for the third time, I was in Hyde Park and nothing happened there. Alright.
That makes a change for you.
Did you get my good side, by the way?
I got your good side. Your 2075.
Yeah.
To be so reasonable.
Are you a sergeant or lieutenant?
Right, no. I'm a sergeant, but at the moment
Acting.
I'm acting up.
Oh,
I've got to change
up.
there.
All right.
I'm a bit adaptable, mate. You
No
know,
worries.
Oh.
Sergeant Sefa, no worries.
Right, anyway, have I answered your question? You're going to agree with me.
You did, but you didn't. We still disagree. We still
No, I'm not
disagree.
disagreeing.
Can I just say, at the end of the day, we've been on the front line, and I've seen you personally in action, and you're a bit of an animal. So
What do you
it's
mean
nice
by
to see
that?
outside you are an animal.
What do you mean an animal?
Where did he see him? Where did he see him?
I tell you what, are you one of those anti-vaxxers back in the day?
Anti-vaxxers or pro-choice?
Pro-choice. Anti-vaxxer. One person's anti-vaxxers, another person's pro-choice. You probably were. I received a lot of animosity and aggression from certain.
Not from all of us. Not from all of us.
No.
We were equally as peaceful as them.
Oh, I had days where
I'm always
certain
peaceful.
people got arrested, and I remember one event where we were, well, not me, other colleagues were trying to put a person arrested into a cage van, and about 4 lines of people formed up by the door.
Come on,
Passionate. Yes, you weren't passionate. You weren't
not
passionate.
as peaceful as that.
I am.
One of my colleagues got hit with a bottle. Another colleague got punched. So I'm not an animal. If I'm an animal, I'm a pussycat or a little furry rabbit. Yeah, get that one for you.
That's on there, that's on there, that's on there. Bit of
What's
comedy
that
as
going
well.
on? What's this going on?
It's going on YouTube.
Brilliant. Don't quote my name. My name's Smith.
No worries, Smith.
Yeah, no, I'm not an animal. Don't say that.
You can be.
No, I'm not. Oh, I wouldn't stop and talk to you if I was like that, would I?
Truly.
Anyway, right, I'm going to go see
Yeah,
what
you
they're
better
doing.
go.
Right, take care,
Have a
nice
good
one.
day, take
Have a
care.
good one.
It's still journey.
He's talking a lot of bollocks.
Killing him, boy. He's always off his feet.
I'm gonna call this one police officer talking shit.
What is it on YouTube?
Expose. I didn't want to give it to him, but expose.